We're going to start with breaking news this morning. Reports of an active shooter at the Naval Air Station in Corpus Christi, Texas. Gina Bullard from KCTV5 News this morning is here with the latest. Gina, this is down south part of Texas, way south of Houston there in Corpus Christi.
Yeah, so this started around 6:15 this morning, a report of an active shooter. We did just check the Facebook page, and they said that the shooter has been neutralized. So that's good news. We do know that one member of the Naval Security Force has been injured. The base is still on lockdown. They just want to really assess the situation and make sure everything is good. This is some video of that scene earlier today.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I thought we had maybe seen, we had a kind of a break in this type of news where we haven't had any of it for a while, so it's kind of unsettling to see it all of a sudden pop up back again. But of course, we're hoping for the best out of that situation down in Corpus Christi. This is also coming out within the last hour. The college admission scandal was a big thing late last year, and now we're starting to see verdicts or sentences handed down against some of the more famous members of that scandal. Yeah,
so actually just this morning, Loughlin and her husband Mossimo, they actually agreed to a plea deal in the college admission scandal. So she's going to serve 2 months in prison.
Wow.
Yeah, and then she's going to pay a $150,000 fine, 2 years of supervised release, 100 hours of community service, and then her husband, he has to serve 5 months in jail, $250,000 fine. So yeah, this has been really interesting. They're the 23rd and 24th suspects to plead guilty in this whole case, which, like you said, started last year.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder what 2 months in jail with Aunt Becky looks like.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that nuts? Anyway,
I mean, crazy.
Well, let's moving on. We haven't heard from the NFL yet whether about fans are going to be in games yet, but hopefully, obviously, we want that for Chiefs Kingdom, right?
Right. Can you imagine a Chiefs game with no fans?
We're the loudest stadium in the world, and that's the I can't get past. You know, if we don't have the fans there, we can't.
It just wouldn't be the same.
Noise.
And I'm sure for the players too, they can't imagine it. So Forbes actually looked at what it costs teams, what it would cost them if nobody was there, if no fans were there. 2018, the Chiefs made $128 million from operations at the stadium. So that's everything from tickets to concession stands. More than 30% of teams' total revenue comes from fans being there. So that's a big chunk of money.
It's a lot of $20 beers there in the stadium.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
Okay, if you were not married and had to make a dating profile right now, what would be one of your best qualities that you would put down?
See, I already I asked my wife about this, what I should put down, and she said, "Well, Bill, you got to put down that you treat your wife really good on your dating profile."
I love you, Missy.
So no, I think I would put, I treat people well, kind, compassionate, and honest.
Those are great qualities. But you know what people really care about?
What do people care about?
If you've tested positive or not for the antibody test for COVID-19.
Obviously.
So literally, this is going on people's dating profiles.
Really?
People want to know if you have been sick before, if you are sick. Obviously, this is online dating, so people tend to lie. So just be aware, not everyone might be being truthful. If that's really all you're going off of, is someone saying they tested positive for the antibody. And obviously, just because you tested positive doesn't mean that you are totally immune to the coronavirus.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. So what do you want? Do you want somebody who's tested positive for it, who has the antibodies that maybe would help them from getting sick again? Or do you want someone who's been truthful and maybe has been taking care of themselves, washing their hands, practicing good hygiene and social distancing?
Tall, dark, and handsome, or already had the coronavirus? I mean, it's a toss-up.
Yes, okay. Also, this is other news this morning that we've heard is the National Teacher of the Year was just announced.
Yes.
And Kansas is back in the spotlight again.
We have such a great reason to be proud this morning. Tabatha Rosproy was just announced. She is from Winfield, Kansas. She runs a preschool there. And this is really interesting. In a retirement village.
Really?
Is this preschool? Yeah, so she connects seniors and kids with this very unique learning environment, which as of right now, everything's a unique learning environment, right?
No joke.
We are so proud of her. Congratulations to her. It's such a great achievement.
And how neat is it that Kansas is getting in the spotlight for some positive news over the past month? We've had the farmer that donated his mask to the New York governor here a while back and made the big news about that 3 weeks ago. And now this great news for the Kansas teachers. So
there are great things happening here. We are so proud of everybody who's just doing their part.
That's right. Well, she is Gina Bullard from KCTV5 News this morning. Thank you very much for the news stories this morning. And of course, for more news, we'll have the updates on some of those breaking news stories at KCTV5 News at noon. Belinda?